When I consider who to trust with my vision health, it is an easy choice with Eye Centers of Tennessee. As a working entrepreneur, Eye Centers of Tennessee helps keep my business in focus. But even more so as a single mom, I know I can trust them with my family's eye care needs. You have a choice when it comes to your vision health. Choose Eye Centers of Tennessee. Welcome to Powered by Her. I'm Tiffany Anton from the Biz Foundry. And I want to take a second to thank Eye Centers of Tennessee, where you can get all your optical needs, glasses, frames, eye exams, contacts, all your optical needs. They even have a surgery center. Go to Eye Centers of Tennessee with 8 different locations throughout the Upper Cumberland. Also, I want to take a moment to say like, subscribe, hit the bell, all the things. Let us know that you're there. Leave us some love. If you're loving what we're doing with the Powered by Her community, leave us a review and let us know and tell us what you like about it or tell us things that we need to change. We'd love to hear from you. Today we have Jess Lewis, owner of Knockout Print Shop, which blows my mind what you do. So what is Knockout Print Shop?
So Knockout Print Shop is an online planner sticker shop. So
planner,
every
not
time planter.
Yes, every time I say this, people are like, a planter? Like planter? No. Planner,
like paper.
Your daily calendar.
Yes.
Sticker shop.
Yes.
So when you want to like have like a cool thing, like you want to say like have a best day ever when you're going to record a podcast.
Right.
You
have a sticker for that.
Put that sticker on there.
Right.
Or just maybe a microphone sticker.
We do have that. We have a little podcast, a little microphone icon.
So you could put it every other week when Powered by Her comes out.
This is true.
Just to have a reminder that it's coming out.
Yes.
That's pretty exciting.
That's exactly what we do.
So, and let me just say that this is what blows my mind, is you're living your life on a sticker business.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a demeaning way whatsoever. I am blown away and amazed that you have built a life that you love based on stickers.
Yeah. It's weird. I mean, it is. We did not see it coming. So my husband and I run the business together. I had previously owned a gym when we lived in Illinois, and that's what we did. And I stumbled onto this whole like planner sticker thing, and we just started doing it on the side, and then it kind of, the domino effect, it got bigger and bigger and bigger, and we decided we wanted to leave Illinois, and we're like, can we actually live off of this? And we have. So it's been our full-time job, the two of us, for 3 years. Now, we don't make like millions of dollars, but, we live kind of minimal, frugal lifestyle, and that's how we pay the bills.
I don't necessarily want my boss to hear this, but I've kind of said, like, I just have like a number in my mind that's just a middle kind of income that I'd like to have, and then I just want to, I feel like I could have a really great, comfortable life and not work 70 hours a week.
Yeah.
And that sounds like the most amazing thing to me.
It is. I mean, I've made double what I make now, and my life was no better. Yeah. In fact, I think for me personally, running the gym when I was making, at the peak of it, sales and how I was doing, was probably the most stressful. It was very satisfying, and I'm glad I did it. But now, like you said, I like to say that we're time rich. We might not be money rich, but we can pay our bills. We don't have debt. Now, we did everything strategically. Like, if we had a really big mortgage or lots of car payments, or we don't have children. If we had children, we had to save for college. I think that'd be different. But because our life is pretty simple, the amount that we can live off of, and we live comfortably. I mean, we're not like
you build, like I said, you build the life that you want to build, and you just. And it works, and so that's pretty amazing. So let's go back. Okay. Obviously, you kind of, for people who are just listening. Yeah. Well, either way, you're not from these parts.
I'm not from these parts.
And people are probably like, oh my gosh, the nasalness between these two is. The sound is coming out your nose. I'm sure.
Plus the Tennessee allergies.
Yes. So I'm a northerner, or Midwestern girl too. So you're from the Chicago area.
Yeah. So we're from the suburbs of Chicago. When I was a little kid, we moved around a lot, and I did live in Hendersonville, Tennessee, for about 3 years in grade school. But the majority of my life was in the suburbs of Illinois, or of Chicago.
In the Midwest. And so, and what do you think made you want to enter into entrepreneurship? What made you want to own your own business? Because you've had, like you kind of mentioned, you've had a couple different ones.
I think I've had a full-time, real, like, big kid job for 9 weeks of my life. and I'll be 41 this year.
And was that the worst 9 weeks of your life ever?
It wasn't the worst 9 weeks ever, but it was a good opportunity and it was fine. But I think I'm just naturally my own boss in a way, and I like having.
You kind of have that redhead thing a little bit, and so us, redheads don't.
We have a little, No, I'm not like I never got in trouble as a kid. Like I'm not like anti-authority, but I like to be in charge of my life, and I think being an entrepreneur fits. Redheaded Virgo.
Yes, I'm a Leo, so that fits really well. Yeah. So I hear you. And so do you think at like 10 years old, 10-year-old Jess, what was, I'm going to be a...
Yeah, so 10-year-old Jess probably said, and I've actually remembered this when I was a little kid, I used to say when I was little, I want to have a place that helps people. And so I was always kind of like that, I wanted to serve people and help people. And I didn't know what it meant.
Yeah.
And then as I grew up and went through school, I got my... undergrad is in psychology and criminal justice, and I have a master's degree in clinical psychology, and I used to be a therapist for 5 years.
Like a counselor.
Like a counselor, yeah. And then I was realizing that wasn't really what I wanted. It wasn't fitting, and the whole physical health part was kind of starting to take place in my life. So then after being a therapist for 5 years is when I kind of left that industry and found a way to like have my gym and try to bridge those two things. So I've always wanted to help people, and it took the form eventually of being a coach and a gym owner. So it's kind of a stretch to the sticker thing.
Yeah.
But I still think as a company, our sticker shop is not just, well, it's e-commerce and it's retail. There's also a community aspect to it. So I think in a way, I still feel like I'm helping people.
Well, and I think a little bit of it is that it gives you the time to get involved in your community.
Yes.
So you have been in rural Tennessee for how long now?
Out here, we moved in June of last year.
So about a year now.
Yes.
And you've jumped right in.
Yeah.
And you really want to be involved in the community. And so, the job, everybody has to have something to pay the bills.
Right, exactly.
And so the thing that pays the bills allows you the time to really jump in and then you don't have to figure out how to make money being a good community member.
Right, exactly.
Which, I think your life is your whole life, not just your job or not just your family or not just, your home. It's all of those elements working the best way possible.
Yeah.
And I think you really kind of figured out a way, and maybe you're still learning somewhat, but kind of figuring out a way to kind of do it the way you want to do it.
Yeah, and I think that is important. When I left Illinois and I had a community at my gym, I was kind of the leader of this community, of my members, and I felt that I had this impact on people. And then when we moved, we kind of were gypsies for a few years, and I felt totally lost. Like I didn't have a place, I didn't have people. So when we came to Cookeville, and I was instantly could tell this community was close knit, and these people, everybody was so friendly, and then stumbled upon through Instagram you guys, I was like, I have to be involved in this. I have to find a way to support local business, and how supportive and encouraging this community is of small business is mind-boggling when you come from suburbs of a big city.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I love, that we really can have that relationship with so many of our people that it's like, well, I'm going to grab a coffee from your coffee shop, and I'm going to buy, a dress for my daughter's first day of school from your boutique, and just things like that, where it's like, you have that relationship with people, and I think that that's really unique with this area.
It is.
So let's jump into how did you start the gym, and why did you start what was that like?
So I started the gym, like I said, because I wanted to kind of bridge the mental and physical health piece. When I was in graduate school, I got a certification as a personal trainer, and then like I said, the mental health piece, I enjoyed being a therapist, and I felt like I was pretty good at it, and I had a great education, but something was missing. So when I got really into fitness, I was like, I need to find a way to do this. So I originally somebody that I knew, one of my members, I was teaching like fitness classes at a local gym, was like, hey, this martial arts studio I know has some open space. Would you ever want to just like rent space and teach some classes? And I was like, maybe I could start this little side thing. I never thought it was going to go anywhere.
And did you think entrepreneurship like that? Or did you think, I'm still just an instructor? Because I think that's just a different mindset.
It is a different mindset. I think it just, that's a good question. I think
it's hard to think that far back.
It is. And I remember the person approaching me. Like I can vividly remember one of my members saying, would you want to do this? And I'm like, well, I mean, what the heck do I have to lose? I guess I could try it.
Yeah.
It wasn't a huge financial burden. It was, again, this like guy that owned this martial arts studio, and he had some open time, and he wasn't asking for a lot of money. He just needed a little extra cash when his studio was empty. And I'm like, okay, well, I could do this. It was really low risk. And I also was working as a therapist. I had a couple jobs at a couple different gyms. I think I had 5 jobs at this time.
Oh my gosh.
And I was just trying to piecemeal together. And it just, once I started it, it very quickly evolved because I started to feel like I could do this. Like I could put things in place to make this more legit. I started, like, I mean, this was back in the day when there was no, I don't think there was social media. What year was it? I mean, there was social media, but I wasn't in it. I think it was like maybe like MySpace in the beginning of Facebook. So whenever that was.
MySpace.
Yeah.
You're putting your music playlist on there.
So I would like go print out flyers and put it, on businesses and hand it out. I was doing like old school marketing, and I had a group of people. We had like 6 people per class, and it started to evolve. And after about a year,
did you put stickers on these flyers?
I didn't.
No stickers.
Stickers hadn't entered the scene yet.
This was before stickers were invented.
This is pre-sticker life. And I was like, after about a year, I'm like, what if I could do this like on my own? Like I could have my own space. So I started looking for space, and I actually stumbled upon somebody that had a bigger facility, and he wanted to partner with me. Now, fast forward, that ended up being a nightmare, but
it's a good learning experience.
It was a great learning experience. So I did that for 2 years. I had a business partner, and then finally I got to the point where I'm like, I'm done. I have to legitimately do this by myself. And I found a space, and that's when it took off in 2011. So I owned my gym from 2011 to 2018.
So tell me about, the fitness space is interesting for a woman. So let's talk about being a woman, owning a gym, and just how do you market to men? How do you make it, a gym for everyone? How do you feel accommodating for women who maybe are intimidated by a gym?
So my gym was women's only.
Okay.
Almost the whole entire lifetime of it till the end. So I started off when I brought my program when I had my business partner, I ran a women's only boxing program out of our gym that was co-ed. Then when I finally stepped away in 2011, did my own thing, I had a women's only boxing gym. And I ran it like that till about 2017. And then I got to the point where I was like, I want to do something different. And this would be a whole other podcast, but I made it co-ed, and I got rid of boxing and changed everything. And it was almost like, obviously I shot myself in the foot because a lot of my members like, I don't want this. Like I came here for something else. So I kind of had to start over. But the fitness space, when I got into it and I was in this weird niche of boxing, was different than it is now. And it's a very hard industry to be, not that any industry isn't hard, but I think I had something that was so unique. That's what made me successful. Yeah. A women's only boxing gym. And it wasn't like a commercial, nothing wrong with franchise gyms or gimmick, but it wasn't gimmicky. It was legit. I mean, I was an amateur boxer teaching boxing classes. My whole point was to empower people to actually
empower women.
Right. And how to be strong and actually throw a real punch. It wasn't about weight loss. It wasn't about burning calories. It wasn't about looking sexy or hot. It was about feeling strong and being able to throw a punch.
Yeah.
And then from there, when you feel confident and you feel strong, how that can then, bleed into other areas of your life.
For sure. I think that's really important. I think the fitness, your physical health affects so many other things, but I think people downplay that sometimes, and they're like, well, I don't have time for my physical health because I have all these other things. And it's like, do you know, if you just invest a little bit into that, how that would, like you said, bleed over?
Exactly.
So what actually got you into the boxing world?
When I was in college, my boyfriend at the time was like, let's go try boxing. And I'm like, okay. And so I was in college, and we took a couple boxing classes, and my coach was like, you're actually kind of good at this. So I had one fight and got my butt kicked. It was oh my God. I remember how I felt like I was almost dying. And I didn't do it again for probably 10 years.
I can't even imagine having someone punch me on purpose. like volunteering. I mean, I like to box. Like, I've gone to some boxing classes. I like to put on some gloves. Like, I feel good, but not.
It's a whole other world getting punched in the face.
Having I used to be a high school teacher, and I remember breaking up fights, and the sound of like that thud, it's sickening to me. I'm laughing, but it's not funny. Like, I can't even imagine like a punch coming at, and I'm a wimp, so I think
I doubt you're a wimp.
I would cry and be like, please stop hitting me, I'll do anything. So you didn't do it again for 10 years. I didn't do it again for 10 years. You thought you were gonna die.
Oh, right. It was the hardest thing ever, but it was also exhilarating because just like any athletic endeavor, it always is like that. And then I went to graduate school and my life kind of changed. And then when I was, whenever that was when I started my gym, I felt this desire to fight again. Like I wanted to, I don't know why. I don't know. I guess I'd have to really get some deep thinking about that. But
now that you're on the couch, were you having anger issues or what? What's going on?
I am an aggressive person, but
the redhead. It's
gotta be. We're feisty.
Feisty for sure.
So
I say passionate for the good and passionate for the bad.
Yeah, that is true. So I just felt the desire to train again and didn't really think anything of it. And then I was like, oh, I'll try another fight. Like what's, whatever. And I did good that time. I won. And I subsequently I had 9 more fights. I think because I've had a total of 10. Not very many, but I've had 10. 2 lost. No, maybe I've had 11. I don't remember. And then I won the Chicago Golden Gloves twice. So it was fun. And it was...
So you have some accolades that you can...
Little baby accolades, yeah. I mean, amateur boxing, yeah. I got my little belt and...
Yeah. How often do you like wear the belts around the house?
Never. It's in the attic. It feels like ancient. It feels so long ago that I ever did anything like that, and it's weird to think. But boxing, just like any sport, teaches you a lot about yourself, and it's a solitary sport. You don't have a team. The only person you have to depend on is yourself. So I think it was a lot of ways was how I functioned in my whole entire life, just kind of like fighting through, moving forward, and like figuring out how to do it. And like, I mean, I could think of so many metaphors of how boxing relates to life and how. If you can take a punch and get hit in the face in front of hundreds of people, you can bomb at business or lose everything and get back up on your feet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, I think that's really important. I think in the entrepreneurial world, that's really important because you're going to get figuratively punched in the face many times in your business world. And that sometimes, I think, especially as women, I struggle sometimes because I think women, first of all, will punch each other in the face sometimes.
Sometimes we do
that.
And,
you're doing it in front of other people. And then sometimes even in your business life, your personal life can affect your business. And so there's just so many things that kind of,
Business is hard.
Yeah.
It is a fight. I mean, it really is.
Yeah.
And there's things coming at you all the time, things you can't anticipate. And, I mean, there's definitely times where I've fallen flat on my face. I've had crappy months of sales. I've lost, tons of members. And when I was, or we've had a bad sale a couple months on our e-commerce business, and you think, I'm going to throw in the towel, like this is done.
You think you're about to die.
Oh my God, what's the point of this? I don't want to do this
anymore.
So what
makes you, in business, not take 10 years off like you did with boxing? And because you feel like you're about to die in business.
That's a really good question.
What makes you... Sometimes I ask some good questions.
That's a good one.
It's like I know what I'm doing.
You do.
So
like when that's a really good question. I've like screwed up. I've not screwed up. I've made mistakes or just like business happens, right? And industry stuff happens.
I'm sure 2020 felt like you were about to die.
Yeah, I mean there was definitely times. I mean, I think I guess the first thing that comes to mind is how much my husband and I enjoy the lifestyle that our business allows us to have. Like I said, we're time rich. We can have our little hobby farm and we don't have to work 9 to 5 jobs. So I think I think the way we live is we enjoy it so much that sometimes we'll just deal with those really crappy situations and try to like get back up on our feet because the thought of, for us, because it's been so long since we've had like regular jobs, the thought of doing that is like, it's just so hard to think of, like, because of how much our lifestyle.
Do you feel like that's like, it's constricting to think of that? Like,
I think, I mean, literally I've had a real full-time 40-hour-week job like once in my life for 9 weeks.
And what was that job for 9 weeks?
So I worked in California. I went to California for 9 weeks and I was a counselor at a boarding school for overweight teenagers. And I thought that was going to be my dream job because I could take, mental health and physical health and put it together. And it was a great thing, but it just wasn't, the philosophy in the program didn't align with what I thought. But yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the main things that keeps me like getting back up on my feet and trying to figure out a way to keep going and stay in this entrepreneurial position. And I like business. Yeah. I think a lot of business owners get into business because they like their thing, their craft. And I really like business. I like trying to figure it out. I like marketing. I like administrative stuff, bookkeeping. I like business.
I think there's two types of entrepreneurs. I think there's serial entrepreneurs that just like business. They just want to be an entrepreneur and they're, they like to build something and then they sell it off or they, move on to the next thing and they're always going to be doing. And then there's people who are just really passionate about their thing. Yes. And then they're like, oh, well, I really like to bake bread. I didn't really mean to be an entrepreneur, but now I am. And so now I'm not even baking bread anymore. I'm building a business. Yes. And so there's really two types. And I think both types can be super successful and do amazing work and really impact their community and all that kind of stuff. But I don't think one's right or wrong.
No, I don't either. I think you can do either one. And I think, if for me, and it's always been a challenge for me when I am the type that likes business and likes the craft, because you have to wear so many hats. Like I have had employees in the gym business, not in our print shop or sticker business. And it was hard for me. I was not, because my business was me. Every employee was an extension of me. Having coaches that were trying to fill my shoes was hard. Yeah. When people were coming to this business for Jess. Yeah. And I did okay having more administrative employees, but it's hard to juggle employees. That's something as a business owner I don't enjoy. I don't enjoy having employees. I don't enjoy managing employees. So being the business owner that was really passionate about the craft and then maybe realizing that I have to step away from the craft, I've always had to be somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah. So real quick, you mentioned you have a side hobby as a farm, and we both have our cowgirl boots on today.
Us Midwesterners faking it.
That's right. We like to pretend. Like once I moved to Tennessee, I just, I can't, my voice cannot hide it, but I like to say y'all sometimes and pretend that I'm part of it. So tell me about your your farm.
So our farm. The farm thing came out of my kind of being frustrated with the fitness industry and realizing how much more food and our food system was important to people's health than getting people in the gym and making them burn a bunch of calories. Like I just realized after being in the industry for so long, what really needed to change was that. So I started just kind of learning for myself and never planned on actually having a little farm. I just thought, well, I'm going to support local farmers. I'm going to shop local, get closer to my food system, buy the most nutrient-dense, well-raised food that I can. And then just kind of things evolved over the past couple of years. And I'm like, we could get some land and we could do this. Like we could get some chickens. And then within it's not even been a year. Now we have chickens, sheep, goats, pigs. Yeah, right? Yeah, 4 animals, yeah.
And you were telling me their names earlier.
Yes.
And the names of the ones that you will eat, you name them
food
names, which is good. So, you don't want like Charlie to be,
he's bacon.
On your dinner table. Yes. So that works out well. I like it. I like the dark sense of humor. Yeah. I feel like that's a little Midwesternish.
It probably is.
It's good. So if people want to find Knockout Print Shop, first of all, what's your 5-year plan? Where do you see things going? Do you see expanding the sticker business? Do you see just kind of
I feel like it's in maintenance mode. I feel like it serves its purpose. I'm always trying to figure out ways to improve it, like from a marketing standpoint and things like that. But
when you create a podcast, a microphone sticker for podcasting that wasn't around a couple years ago,
right? Exactly. So we're always trying to evolve like products and things like that. But I don't necessarily know if that's going to grow. We've had different ideas of pivoting to different products, like having a planner or something like that. But that industry is very saturated, and I don't know that's like the fight that I want to try to make our name as a planner. So I don't know. Like right now I'm in this weird space of trying to figure out where to go and what the next move is. I don't have any interest in like monetizing our farm. I'm not trying to be a production farmer, so that's not in the 5-year plan. I don't know. I would like to get more involved in the business community here in Cookeville and Upper Cumberland. I want to support other local entrepreneurs. that's to me is just kind of where my heart and mind keep getting pulled to.
Mentoring and coaching.
Yeah.
I feel like I could totally see you doing that.
Yeah.
Definitely, if you have a business and you are in the Upper Cumberland and you kind of want just somebody to talk through things, I'm putting it out there for you. Call Jess, ask her to take her out for coffee, and then she just has I think you're just such a diamond in the rough for us. Thanks. Like, it's just been such a good find, and you're such a great cheerleader for the community and what we're doing. And I love that you, like you said, it's been a year and you jumped right in with head first, which is not kind of the way to jump in usually, but it works out.
Everybody's been so great. Like, just finding people and connecting with people. It's so refreshing.
It's a great community.
It really
I think the business community here is just welcoming. I love how the connections that can be made and stuff. So people are looking for Knockout Print Shop. How can they find you?
So Knockout Print Shop is knockoutprintshop.com, and we're also on Etsy. And then we have an Instagram, which is Knockout Print Shop. We have a YouTube, which is Knockout Print Shop, so it's pretty easy. It's Knockout Print Shop.
That was the Etsy thing. Pause there for a second. Yes. So that's definitely, if you're a maker and you want to have an Etsy shop, or you just want to know about having an Etsy shop, that's definitely where your expertise.
Yeah, we've been on Etsy since 2015.
For somebody to kind of mentor, for you to meet with, because I think we have so many incredible makers in this area, and so I'd love to see them grow and expand and really be successful. So go ahead and find Knockout Print Shop on all your social medias. Find Jess. She's the best cheerleader you'll ever have. Connect with her. And so thanks for tuning in to Powered by Her. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons so that you never miss an episode of Powered by Her. Thanks for listening.